Hi everyone, it's Chris here. I just wanted to talk about space and the universe. Pretty big topic, and how that all entwines what I do here at Truly Holistic. Because quite often when I'm working within somebody's energy body for a health problem or a health concern, this whole system is based on an open mind and looking at any possibility of what could be causing your health problem. And sometimes this can be a universal thing, something that is not very straightforward in the physical realm, and we have to explore things that could be happening outside into space or in a universal problem. And because I have this ability to use intuition, and using a pendulum, and dowsing and channeling into source, which we may call, one person might call God, one person could call source, one person could call the creator. I get messages and information regarding things that are happening universally, which kind of can go into another topic which we can talk about as well, between the differences between science and spirituality. And so it could be something that's happening outside of the earth that could be affecting your health here, or it could be affecting a part of your a self, which is kind of another version of you. We have so many selves, and there may be another version of you out in the universe somewhere, which something's affecting them or affect you, which we call quantum entanglement. If that form of yourself out in the universe gets involved in conflict and gets damaged or hurt in some way, then you will feel that effect in your physical body here on planet Earth. Now this all is very open-minded, but again, this system is based on looking at any possibility for your health problem, and that's why it's so unique, the system, and that's why this system delges into a lot deeper down the rabbit hole compared to a lot of other health paradigms. Hence why we kind of call the system the alternative to the alternative. So this system caters essentially for people that have gone to a lot of alternative people as well, haven't found a solution to their health problem, and which essentially means that we need to delve deeper into the problem and deal with it with a very open mind and look at any possibility of what's causing that health problem. So currently, we'll go back to this whole idea of science and spirituality. Now, we seem to have two groups of people. One group of people are very scientifically minded. Everything's got to be shown through science and through studies to show factual evidence that it exists. And on the other hand, people that are using spirituality and don't really require science to show evidence that something exists. They just know spirituality, spiritually they know it. And remember, spirituality is completely the opposite to religion, and it's really has nothing to do with religion. So currently what we know of space is what NASA tells us. And NASA is a scientifically based commodity. But one important fact to take in here is that NASA is a government agency. And our avenue for what's happening in space is through NASA. Because we can't just take a big ladder and go up into our atmosphere and peer into space and see, oh yeah, I see what they mean. We have no a way of seeing what's out of our planet only through one channel, and at the moment that is NASA, unless we delve into spirituality as well. Now, one important thing to make about NASA, as I said, is a government agency. And quite often I see, and I think a lot of people can understand this point of view and agree with me, that a majority of us think that our politicians are liars. They're not very honest people. A lot of these polls that they have out about who are the most honest people that do an occupation, quite often the dishonest ones are always at the top of the poll are politicians. So I think a lot of people can make that leap into thinking that our politicians aren't necessarily telling us the full truth. So I guess we can make that jump to the fact that our government is full of politicians, that our government, there's some corruption within our government, and that it involves a lot of dishonesty. So if we can make that jump, then we can at least make that jump that if NASA is a government agency, there is a good chance that we're not exactly getting the complete truth of what's happening in space. And I see this, that people kind of, a mass amount of people in the mainstream can agree that politicians are not telling us the truth. So at least I think we can make those two connections between the government to a government agency such as NASA, that they may be not telling us the exact truth and they may be withholding information from us. Also knowing that we can't independently go out into space and just see if they're actually telling us the truth. So that gives them a lot of power over us to tell us what's exactly happening in space. So I want people just to think about that for a while. That's enough to think about there and then. But my story is that I've been into astronomy since I've been a kid. I've had telescopes and I've been amassed within the scientific community with NASA and with astronomy and with space. So, but now obviously I've gone into the spiritual realm with doing a truly holistic and doing energy work for people. That I've had to find a common ground between the two, and there has been a lot of question marks regarding what is actually out in space and how much do we know about it, other than what we know from NASA, which you could really question. Is it legitimate, this information that we're getting from NASA? For example, I think a big question a majority of people is, are we alone in the universe? Are there other species? Are there other humanoids from other planets that have come to and been in contact with us, which we call extraterrestrials? My opinion is yes, they have. There's a lot of evidence to show they have been in contact with us. There's a lot of secret documentation through government about treaties formed with certain races with especially the American government. The American government seems to be at the centre of a lot of this. Funnily enough, NASA is United States government agency, space agency, and that they've been in touch and that they're actually working with extraterrestrials currently, especially within our military. And there's a lot of whistleblowers, people that have been involved within military and within a lot of these secret organisations such as the CIA and the secret space program as well, that they've all been in contact with particular extraterrestrial races. And I think a majority of us know that we can't only be the living organism within the universe. There has to be something else out there. And a lot of people will ask, well, if you're saying that they exist, where are they? We haven't seen them. Well, I would say a majority of these races are advanced technology-wise, a lot more advanced than we are. And there's a lot of evidence to show that we got our technology from somewhere else. And there's a lot of evidence to show in history from old civilizations that in text as well as the sacred paintings and artwork that they've done, that they were in contact with people, space people that came from space and came from the stars. So how this ties in with my work here at Truly Holistic is that because I look at what could possibly be causing a health problem from an open-minded point of view, I have in my charts many extraterrestrial races and also entities, and they come up a lot with people. I'll give you an example. I had a lady who was having issues with stomach problems, abdominal problems, and she was having stomach aches and pains. And I went to have a look at what was causing that problem, and only one thing came up, and it was telling me that she had a reptilian which another name is called lizard people, and within the small intestine. Now, when I cleared the energy of that reptilian out of the small intestine, I'm not saying that a big alien's going to burst out of our small intestine. This is just the energy component of this particular extraterrestrial or entity. Once I removed that, her problem dissipated and was removed. She didn't have any more stomach or abdomen pain. Now that's proof in the pudding that, you know, if I'm removing the energy of one of these particular extraterrestrials or entities, then all of a sudden the health problem disappears. Then we have to put 1 and 1 to 2 together, and it equals 2. It's not equaling some other number. So that's proof in the pudding that they do exist. And I find these ETs and extraterrestrials and these entities within a lot of health problems of people, and they're a big player in regards to your health problem, not just the physical problem. Remember, these energy issues manifest into a physical problem into the human body. So I just wanted to do this video I know it's very, you've got to take this with a very open mind, and I don't want you to just take this information from me. Please go on the internet and research these particular things, and find it out for yourself with an open mind. Remember, we have been programmed to live and think with a very closed mind, and kind of get dictated by what certain media sources tell us to do, and tell us the way we're supposed to think, and think that, you know, how can that exist? That's just ridiculous. When really we should be questioning everything. I have talked about in previous videos about questioning what we're eating and putting in our bodies. This same thing applies. You know, we need to be questioning these things, because, as I said, those links between NASA, which is a government agency, and the way we feel about politicians, the government, whether they're really telling us the truth, we need to be questioning what maybe is outside this planet, what's governing our planet. You know, going a bit deeper to what's controlling our government. You know, because our governments aren't in power as much as you think they are. They are essentially puppets for something behind them that are controlling them. So we need to go a bit deeper, and usually a bit more universal, what's happening within space and essentially this whole creation of the universe. So I just want to do this video to just talk about some of these concepts, maybe question the things that we're getting from NASA. My opinion is that we already know extraterrestrials exist. They have been in contact with us. We've got a lot of technology through these extraterrestrials, and they've been coming here for many thousands or millions of years. There's even questions whether we were created from extraterrestrials, because there's a lot of question marks whether there's creation, evolution theory as well. You know, if we came from apes, why are there still apes there? Why didn't some of these other kingdoms evolve into conscious beings like ourselves? We have to question that. You know, our body, our nervous system requires essential fatty acids like omega-3s. The ape kingdom don't. So there's a lot of question marks over that theory already. Did we is part of our DNA come from the ape kingdom? Yes, possibly. But I definitely feel that it was spliced through a number of particular animals and things that came from outside of our planet. So therefore, bringing in the extraterrestrial part of the equation, which then we could look at the theory of creation. Maybe not in the realms of what we maybe call God or Adam and Eve, but with something that's come from the universe in a form of extraterrestrial or source energy above, whether we call that God or whether we call that the Creator. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about this video. Let me know what you think. And yeah, just adapt and always look at things in an open-minded point of view. Thank you.